on Bolo V&R clips and Bolo V&R 2.0. Live on both at the moment. Let me just put this on subscriber only. Yes, the other thing I need to do is hopefully I can go live on this while it charge. I don't charge properly. Oh God, this old phone here still a try with me, you know. I try with me, but not like I have to give thanks because it could have just done and stop. I try with me. This phone has been through a lot, you know. This phone has been through a lot. Drop, crack, mash up. I try if it's source one screen for my next phone, but my goodness, it's so hard. You know, sometimes to come in and greetings and all of this, you know? Sound of greetings and stuff like that. And then we get into the substantive issues. Connect. Why not connect? Connect now. Alright. Ta-da. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe there's a lot of distractions happening, you know. Just my perspective. You know. Just my perspective, but
Dictation was
too much darkness over this political party, man. Too much darkness. Too much. Can't take no more. Can't take no more. We have a free up here now. Loose. When the pastor say loose, loose. Jamaica need to loose. Too much darkness. Loose.
You're going to hear all kinds of propaganda.
My God.
You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deceptions.
Yes.
There will be tactics used to try and buy you out.
Yes.
There will be tactics used to try and frighten you away.
Yes.
And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades.
Yes.
We are blood and fire comrades. And we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm. We will not be bought because we are not for sale.
Yes.
ChatGPT is great for quick answers, but when you need writing
Make them know.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people.
Know.
If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
Yes.
I do not support corruption.
You mad?
Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people.
Yes.
This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys are doing well, that your family and everybody is doing well. My name is Bolo V&R, for those that are new to the platform. I'm an independent entity on this platform on YouTube, and I'm an independent entity on this platform on YouTube, and I come here to really assess some of the key things that are happening in my beloved country of Jamaica. To be quite honest with you, it's little over a year since I've taken on this very, very seriously. Before, I had no intention of even speaking of or even dealing with, politics in this capacity. You know what they say? You try the other way and you realize that things are not changing, because one of the mentalities that I had personally, and this is just facts, my mentality was no matter what the politician does, I'm still going to move forward with whatever it is that my ambitions are. And that was very unwise of me, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you why. I've come to learn that what the politician does in terms of policy, laws, and those specific things that they implement, it affects our daily lives. And we can look no further than how critical that is with a decision that Christopher Tufton made when the UHWI board was dissolved by him. When the decision from the board regarding how the UHWI would move forward and look at the results now. That's just one example of the power that the politicians wield and how it affects everybody's life. Students in the Caribbean are affected by this UHWI situation. Jamaicans are affected. People that come to the UHWI possibly for, special treatment from other countries are also affected as well because of how UHWI is being run. Nationwide, specifically, and the subordinates of the Jamaica Labour Party in the media and mainstream media, some of them as well, as one, not giving this story any real, push in terms of the seriousness of it. They have been very lackadaisical. Only a little and few and far in between of them is taking this seriously. Today, as I think it should be. Today, we saw Nationwide ask questions in the PMP conference that simply, in my opinion, was literally to try and take away from the substantive issue, to divert from the actual persons that are responsible, meaning Christopher Tufton and Andrew Honest. They sought to divert focus. And this is why they are known by the well-thinking Jamaicans as the JLP propaganda machinery. And I have no apologies. I will go in a court of law and argue that with facts, based off their actions, if they was to take it there. You understand? This is my belief. Right? They are a propaganda machine for the JLP. Right? We saw where this UHWI thing came out. And their focus is something that's not in the report. Their focus was on a rumor instead of the facts of the matter. Right? But, Dana Morris Dixon didn't say anything about that. She did not check Nationwide about the facts of the matter. Right? She did not call them out. Andrew Honest did not call them out and say, why are you guys spreading propaganda on Dennis Gordon? Why are you guys spreading propaganda on Mr. brother, Dr. Alfred Dawes. No, they did not do that. They stood by and watched Nationwide come out and try to character assassinate Dennis Gordon without any proof. Because nobody names was named in the report in terms of the companies. But that's the conversation that they want it to be. But today we're going to have the real conversation about the facts. Right? We have now heard that allegedly Cliff Hughes had a stroke or some type of medical scare. I'm going to tell you guys right here flat out, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that happened. And if it did, I hope him a speedy recovery. And I'm going to tell him what the apostles and the prophets been telling him for the longest. Repent. Repent. That's it. That's the message that he has gotten years ago. Repent from this path that you have taken, Cliff Hughes. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If I don't see evidence, real tangible evidence, I believe it's a distraction as well to take away from the PMP's press conference today. That is my belief. I was going to call into Andre's show to say same, but I noticed the callers was putting it in a direction, so I say, you know what? Let me not flip it. Let me not flip it. Because indeed it could be true that he actually had a scare. But I don't believe them. Remember the Christopher Tufton thing with the bicycle? I still don't believe that. I don't believe that. Look at the timing of it. I don't believe it. That's just me. But I'm overly skeptical, ladies and gentlemen. Once you lose my trust, it's lost. You understand? That's why I don't play about people when it comes to certain things and they put their trust in me. I don't play about certain things. Right? If anybody that knows me knows me. Alright? Yeah, I'm not I don't really mess around certain way. So I believe that it is indeed a distraction for us to have the conversation about him, because they know the PMP people them don't like Cliff Hughes and them don't like Nationwide. Right? So divert the conversation to Cliff Hughes having a health scare. Right? Just like the other day when they diverted the conversation from UHWI, Christopher Tufton, the Manchester boys, and the board decision that the dissolving of the board that Christopher Tufton is responsible for. Today, however, ladies and gentlemen, we have additional information that I was not aware of. And I'm asking the question, and Mr. Dr. Alfred Dawes did as well. Christopher Tufton, were you aware of this information? Let me tell you something. These people are charlatans. You hear what I said? They are inherently dishonest. They are allergic to the truth. Let's play the tape.
Morning, Jamaica. The opposition has joined you this morning because Jamaica's health system is in crisis. Our premier teaching hospital, the University Hospital of the West Indies, is in a national health crisis. This health crisis is threatening patient care, staff morale, and public trust. This crisis, though, did not come up overnight. It didn't happen by chance. It is a direct result of governance failure and political interference.
This is terrible.
Today,
I need another source to listen to this. The audio is terrible. I'm sorry. That is terrible. What is going on? How I manage them systems? People in here say, size 13 is back. There's a video on PBC of opening ceremony for post-election and CRD in a chair, and that was 20 hours ago. Only here say size 13 is back. I want to tell you, I want to say something, but I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. Let me try PDTV audio. Mighty God. Please tell me that his audio is better. Please tell me that his audio is better. Let me try ABR News because I see she was live with it. Let me try.
So, with his untouchable servants.
Thank God.
Failure and is a direct come up overnight. It did not come up overnight. It didn't happen by chance.
That's a little bit better.
It is a direct result of governance failure and political.
That's a little bit better. We can hear it now.
It did not come up overnight. It didn't happen by chance. It is a direct result of governance failure and political interference. Today, we are going to place the facts before the country, exposing the human cost, the cost on the staff, and the welfare of those who have to interface with this system. Our leader of the opposition, Mark Goldin, will play for you play by play what has happened since this crisis began unfolding. After which, Dr. Dawes will take you with the facts, and you then will have to make the decisions. We'll take your question after the break when we come back.
Dr. Dawes, I'll go first, man.
Good morning. I'll go first. So many have been wondering, why did we take so long to do a press conference?
Listen to this.
And it's a simple reason. After every scandal that he has faced, the Minister of Health has gone on a cross-country tour and gone on every talk show and produced a lot of news to drown out whatever it is that we're bringing attention to. And as a result of that, he has been able to escape time and time again, scandal after scandal. So we decided to do things a little bit different. So we brought things out in the media in a creative way, and then we allowed the minister to do his usual tours, and you would have seen over the last few days that he has gone to most of the hospitals. There have been a lot of sound bites, a lot of stories. He has been on a lot of talk shows, and all of this has served to kill the discourse of what is happening at the university hospital. So now that he has done what he usually does, we are now going to have the press conference that so many are dying for. So
ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dawes is not playing crystal. Dr. Dawes and the People's National Party is not playing. So you see, for those people that has been criticizing the PNP, I hope you guys are taking notes. Hush. Hush. Be patient. And they have to be strategic. Support your party and stop criticizing them. And some of the criticism are very excessive. Very excessive. I not tell no lie. You need to stop it. You don't know yourself. And you know yourself. You don't know yourself. Stop it. You understand? Because he's absolutely right. Right? Christopher Tufton thought that he could just wait out the storm, and then now he come with a flood of his narrative, put it out there, and thought that he would have the final say, and have it appear as if everything is hunky-dory and things are going in the right direction, although there was problem. Patience is a virtue, ladies and gentlemen. One that some of you need to incorporate. Lady Joe, how you doing? Right? And I want to go back to what the intro, what she said, because I don't want us to miss that.
It did not come up overnight. It didn't happen by chance. It is a direct result of governance failure and political interference.
What happened at the UHWI is a direct result of political failure and government interference. That is what I want you guys to register in your minds, because that's a fact. Christopher Tufton cannot recuse himself of blame. What's up, Dior? Right? He cannot, and Antonio, big up. He cannot recuse himself of blame. He's directly involved in the failure of the UHWI. No apology. He is directly involved based off the dissolving of the committee, based off his persistence to have the acting CEO, that is his friend from Manchester High School, be the official CEO, although the board recommendation was for somebody from overseas in the UK specifically. That was ignored, and the will of Christopher Tufton, the will of Christopher Tufton, right, was manifested through his decision. So that is the interference, ladies and gentlemen. That is the interference. I don't like and share up that video because I send out a memo to everybody and I don't know where them there. 2,000 plus people on my channel, on my WhatsApp channel. I wonder if they might interfere with it. I'm wondering if the people are getting the messages, because this is ridiculous. Right? Want to share it up there for me and send out the link. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if the link is not working when I send it. I don't know if they might block my link. I don't know what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to move on. Get on
Today,
with this.
We are going to place the facts before the country.
Yes.
Exposing the human cost, the cost on the staff, and the welfare of those who have to interface with this system. Our leader of the opposition, Mark Goldin, will play for you, play by play, what has happened since this crisis began unfolding. After which...
So you see, they want to undermine the gravity of the effects of the actual fruits of Christopher Tufton's decision. Right? The fruits, his decision to have his people in the position that they are at UHWI. Right? They want to play that down. What them say? BSW? No, me not like Colin Bella burn up TikTok, you know, on YouTube. What Colin Bella say? Colin Bella say what? The JLP flag of them is suffering from BSW. What does that even mean, bro? I first may hear that.
Dr. Dawes will take you with the facts, and you then will have to make the decisions. We'll take your question after the break when we come back.
Good morning.
Morning. Good afternoon.
I'll go first. So many have been wondering, why did we take so long to do a press conference? And it's a simple reason. After every scandal that he has faced, the Minister of Health has gone on a cross-country. Did we take... Good morning. I'll go first. So many have been wondering, why did we...
Jamaica, I want to listen to this. The opening of Mr. Alfred Dawes' speech, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man, listen to this.
Go first. So many have been wondering, why did we take so long to do a press conference? And it's a simple reason. After every scandal that he has faced, the Minister of Health has gone on a cross-country tour and gone on every talk show and produced a lot of news to drown out whatever it is that we're bringing attention
You don't say.
to. And as a result of that, he has been able to escape time and time again, scandal after scandal. So we decided to do things a little bit different. So we brought things out in the media in a creative way, and then we allowed the minister to do his usual tours, and you would have seen over the last few days that he has gone to most of the hospitals. There have been a lot of sound bites, a lot of stories. He has been on a lot of talk shows, and all of this has served to kill the discourse of what is happening at the university hospital. So now that he has done what he usually does, we are now going to have the press conference that so many are dying for. So we want to bring back the attention to the University Hospital of the West Indies this morning. And the reason why we have to bring back the attention to the University Hospital of the West Indies is because it is the premier teaching hospital in the Caribbean. So it's not just a regular hospital where you go and get treatment. This is where doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, lab techs, many healthcare workers are trained. And if we...
Ladies and gentlemen of TikTok and social media, the man is absolutely right in regards to the methodology in which Christopher Tufton and the Jamaica Labour Party uses the media when a scandal like this comes along. I am personally calling on the resignation and the removal of Christopher Tufton from the Ministry of Health. 24 babies in 25 days. I wonder if Andrew Honest is hearing those dead babies cry. You understand? It was a dark day, ladies and gentlemen. It was a dark day when a certain Portia Simpson Miller was being pressured to fire one Minister of Health. But it was a dark day because he said that she wasn't acting. Is it a dark day now, Andrew Honest? Is it a dark day now? Millions of people's lives have been affected by Christopher Tufton's decision. Is it a dark day?
If the university hospital loses its accreditation, it can impact on healthcare across the region. Not only does it serve as a teaching hospital and it is in danger of losing its accreditation and as a result affecting the University of the West Indies, but it sees about 10% of the Jamaican population every year, and it is a type A referral hospital. So we have to preserve the University Hospital of the West Indies. And what has been happening, especially over the last few years, is that the hospital is almost in a death spiral because of poor governance. Now, the minister has repeatedly distanced himself from what is happening at the University Hospital. And he has basically cast blame on the departmental heads. We cannot allow this to happen another time. We cannot allow the deflection and the distraction to allow it to take away from the substantive issues. We have to stop it now because the consequences are too great. When the former board tried to enact reforms, they saw evidence of fraud, they saw procurement irregularities, and they sought to correct them. They had a CEO brought in after an exhaustive process where they had over 30 applicants. That CEO was a professional who was supposed to bring forward the reforms at the University Hospital. The acting CEO at the time was not shortlisted. He was not deemed to be qualified for the job. But then the minister directly intervened and the board was dissolved. A new board was formed. The CEO who was selected to oversee the reforms at the University Hospital had gone back because they thought that they were going to work in a hostile environment. And who did this new board select to be the CEO? the same acting CEO who was not qualified for the job, according to the HR panel. This is the same CEO who has overseen the scandal that has plagued the University of the West Indies that we're seeing in the Auditor General's report. Now, when a minister steps in and fires a board who is trying to enact reforms and puts in place somebody who presides over massive mismanagement leading to this scandal that we're seeing today, he has to accept some responsibility. Because in firing the board and putting in place what some may say is who he favors, he has given his imprimatur on the governance structure of the university hospital. And then those who he favors, they go around acting, in the words of the staff, like absolute monarchs. And this has led to an HR crisis at the university hospital, where disaffected staff have written letters of complaints, where they've had meetings where the notes have been sent to the board, crying out for change. They have highlighted procurement issues, irregularities. They have been sidelined from the process. There has been a mismatch between what they need to function properly and the needs of the senior management of the university hospital, leading to dysfunctional equipment and services not being able to attend to patients because there's been a reliance on infrastructural developments rather than giving them the tools they need to work with. We have to mention, of course, the Sagicor Foundation's donation to the hospital. And it is being spun as if we are attacking a private sector entity. No, we're not. We feel sorry for Sagicor because Sagicor had all good intentions to help the pediatric unit at the university hospital. The pediatricians were very involved in the Sagicor Foundation's efforts to raise the funds. But then Sagicor was misled, hoodwinked, taken for a ride by senior managers at the university hospital who told them that the pediatric department had bought into the reallocation of the resources. So instead of the $75 million going towards the pediatric ward that it was initially earmarked for, it went towards a CT scanner purchase.
Jesus have mercy. Father God, give me strength. No. Listen. No. This is too much. This is a little bit too much. This is a little bit too much, ladies and gentlemen. I have to just remove this and save this to draft. I have to go over that again. My head instantly start hurting now. I don't think me hear right. I don't think I'm hearing right, you know. I don't think I'm hearing right. I really don't think I just heard what I just heard, ladies and gentlemen. Boy. Mommy, looking at the freezer, you see one can for me. Looking at the freezer, you see one can. You're outside? Alright, never mind. Jesus have mercy. People in the air man say a while ago. More importantly, do you understand what he's saying? Let me see if you don't understand what I'm saying. Somebody tell me on the ear Dr. Da say a while ago and explain to me what him just said in the chat. Yeah, man. I'm gonna just use the little juice I have left on this and go live. Human rights violation can't done from 1960s. Citizens are dying. Big up yourself, Reggae Rock TV. I see you. Who else is here? Lady J. Mighty God, TikTok had to come, had to, please share up this live TikTok. Get everybody over here, so come over here so they fast. Come over here so they fast. What I just heard from Dr. Alfred Dawes, this need crowd. I don't think people understand the gravity of what is being said by Dr. Alfred Dawes. I don't think people understand, ladies and gentlemen. It's not one or two things, you know. It's not one or two things. No. Let's go back. Let's go back. I'm going to speed it up a bit, because I want to get the full context of what is being said by Dr. Alfred Dawes here regarding the UHWI and Christopher Tufton. You want to see me coming on my button-up shirt. I'm very, very serious today. You want to listen to this? You want to listen to this?
Good morning. I'll go first. So many have been wondering, why did we take so long to do a press conference? And it's a simple reason. After every scandal that he has faced, the Minister of Health has gone on a cross-country tour and gone on every talk show and produced a lot of news to drown out whatever it is that we're bringing attention to. And as a result of that, he has been able to escape time and time again, scandal after scandal. So we decided to do things a little bit different. So we brought things out in the media in a creative way, and then we allowed the minister to do his usual tours. And you would have seen over the last few days that he has gone to most of the hospitals. There have been a lot of sound bites, a lot of stories. He has been on a lot of talk shows. And all of this has served to kill the discourse of what is happening at the university hospital. So now that he has done what he usually does, we are now going to have the press conference that so many are dying for. So we want to bring back the attention to the University Hospital of the West Indies this morning. And the reason why we have to bring back the attention to the University Hospital of the West Indies is because it is the premier teaching hospital in the Caribbean. So it's not just a regular hospital where you go and get treatment. This is where doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, lab techs, many healthcare workers are trained. And if the university hospital loses its accreditation, it can impact on healthcare across the region. Not only does it serve as a teaching hospital, and it is in danger of losing its accreditation, and as a result affecting the University of the West Indies, but it sees about 10% of the Jamaican population every year, and it is a type A referral hospital. So we have to preserve the University Hospital of the West Indies. And what has been happening, especially over the last few years, is that the hospital is almost in a death spiral because of poor governance.
Period.
Now, the minister has repeatedly distanced himself from what is happening at the university hospital. And he has basically cast blame on the departmental heads. We cannot allow this to happen another time. We cannot allow the deflection and the distraction to allow. It's part
Right.
to take away from the substantive issue.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop it now because the consequences are too great. When the former board tried to enact reforms, they saw evidence of fraud, they saw procurement irregularities, and they sought to correct them. They had a CEO brought in after an exhaustive process where they had over 30 applicants. That CEO was a professional who was supposed to bring forward the reforms at the university hospital. The acting CEO of the time was not shortlisted. He was not deemed to be qualified for the job. But then the minister directly intervened and the board was dissolved.
Okay.
A new board was formed. The CEO who was selected to oversee the reforms at the university hospital had gone back because they thought that they were going to work in a hostile environment. And who did this new board select to be the CEO?
Thank you.
The same acting CEO who was not qualified for the job, according to the HR panel. This is the same CEO who has overseen the scandal that has plagued the University of the West Indies that we're seeing in the Auditor General's report. Now, when a minister steps in and fires a board who is trying to enact reforms and puts in place somebody who presides over massive mismanagement leading to this scandal that we're seeing today, he has to accept some responsibility.
Of course. That's the first part we need to make. I am laying the responsibility squarely on his shoulders. Me personally, that's me. As a citizen of this country, it is my right to assess the situation. And if Christopher Tufton did not overturn the board's decision, I can argue that none of this would have happened because the individual, right, that was overseas was very experienced in turning around these types of institutions and the institutional problems that they had. The individual had a track record, ladies and gentlemen, of turning things around. You understand? And she was not given the opportunity by Christopher Tufton. Christopher Tufton decided to make him friend from high school, Manchester boys. Continue as the CEO. And that's the truth of the situation. Right? Let's continue.
Because in firing the board and putting in place what some may say is who he favors, he has given his imprimatur on the governance structure of the university hospital. And then those who he favors, they go around acting, in the words of the staff, like absolute monarchs. And
the words of the staff is that Christopher Tufton, appointees in the managerial position in the UHWI, is going around acting like absolute monarchs. What is a monarch, ladies and gentlemen? A sovereign head of state, especially a king or queen or emperor. So you can imagine, it's total tyranny, you know? It's totalitarianism, you know, ladies and gentlemen. The individuals that Christopher Tufton put in place instead of the recommendation of the board is totalitarianism, you know? Anything them say goes. And this person had no experience. This person was not qualified for the job, but gets the job and acts like a totalitarian. I wonder why. Is it because it's his friend that is the minister? Is it because it's his friend that put him in the position? Could it be? And we wonder why things are the way it is at the UHWI. We wonder why. We wonder why. I wonder why. We wonder why. Neeks, how you doing? You alright, my baby? Let's continue. Crazy, man.
And this has led to an HR crisis at the university hospital where disaffected staff have written letters of complaints, where they've had meetings where the notes have been sent to the board, cracking out for change. They have highlighted procurement issues, irregularities. They have been sidelined from the process. There has been a mismatch between what they need to function properly and the needs of the senior management of the university hospital, leading to dysfunctional equipment and services not being able to attend to patients because...
Ladies and gentlemen, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I have dubbed Chris Tufton the Bill Gates of Jamaica. Come on. Keep it honest. I have dubbed Chris Tufton the Bill Gates. I call him the Bill Gates of Jamaica. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who is Dr. Fauci yet. But I don't believe maybe I'm bridging a Dr. Fauci, you know. When you remember in the pandemic and Fauci, maybe him and friend of Dr. Fauci. Listen to what the man said, man. The people them when they on the ground and at work, I tell the board, say, yo, we need this and this and this, and the board I say, yo, and this me I get. So if the people them don't have the proper equipment for work with, doesn't the people that go there suffer? The patients? It all leads back to Christopher Tufton, and then it leads to Andrew Hollis. The two of them must resign. I'm calling for the resignation of both of them.
There has been a reliance on infrastructural developments rather than giving them the tools they need to work with. We have to mention, of course, the Sagicor Foundation's donation to the hospital. And it is being spun as if we are attacking a private sector entity. No, we're not. We feel sorry for Sagicor.
Mighty God. I never expected this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the for 6. The man said, them feel sorry for Sagicor. The People's National Party is not attacking Sagicor. Listening up, this part is critical.
Hospital. And it is being spun as if we are attacking a private sector entity. No, we're not. We feel sorry for Sagicor because Sagicor had all good intentions to help the pediatric unit at the University Hospital. The pediatricians were very involved in the Sagicor Foundation's efforts to raise the funds. But then Sagicor was misled, hoodwinked, taken for a ride by senior managers at the University Hospital who told them that the pediatric department had bought into the reallocation of the resources.
Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my understanding based on what Mr. Dr. Alfred Charles just said, that Sagicor was led to believe that the staff at the pediatric ward bought into them buying the CT scan. But they were lied to. Sagicor was lied to. What is wrong with your teeth, Kevin Bailey? If you're in the wrong place, you know, you can be put in the right place, you know. If you don't like truth and you don't like corrupt politicians being exposed, you can leave or be sent away via the black button. No apology. Patrick, what's going on? And what I say, and for the people on TikTok, please, my battery is dying. If I get cut off, make sure that you go and subscribe to my YouTube page so you'll be there for the continuation of the conversation. Alright, I would encourage you guys to go and subscribe to my YouTube. It's in the link to my bio. This should have everybody outraged. You're telling me that Sagicor was lied to by the senior heads of the UHWI about the Sigma run of raising 75 million to actually fix the ward? If this is true, and I don't doubt that it is, because Mr. Alfred Dawes is not going to come out here and say this without evidence. Alright? But just, this is how I have to articulate it. Yes? If this is true, ladies and gentlemen, Sagicor should sue the board of the UHWI or the heads of the UHWI that misled them and lied to them into thinking that the staff at the ward was with this whole idea of buying. I am reading big up of buying a CT scan for $75 million. As a matter of fact, MOCA needs to get involved immediately if they haven't already. All fraud squads need to investigate this. You understand? Because this could, Sagicor could sue them, you know? This could potentially violate the man them reputation, you know? Sagicor need to separate themselves far from this, you know? And come show the evidence and listen to me. This serious, you know? Love, what you doing? This is very serious. Oh, Rose, that's okay, Rose. Yes, all right, Rose. Not gonna remember. This is extremely serious. Let me play that again because, yo.
We're very involved in the Sagicor Foundation's efforts to raise the funds. But then Sagicor was misled, hoodwinked, taken for a ride by senior managers at the University Hospital who told them that the pediatric department had bought into the reallocation of the resources.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not aware of the Sigma run at that year, the advertisement from that Sigma run suggests that the physical structure of the ward was what they were raising the $75 million for. Remember when Andre brought it up and Sagicor released a statement saying that the money was pretty much given to the board because them said them are going to buy one machine, one CT scan machine, and I sat here and I looked up the prices of a CT scan machine. And indeed, a CT scan machine, according to Google, can cost $75 million depending on the type and the amount of scales that are a part of it. Right? However, I question the logics of only purchasing one CT scan when the actual ad suggested and was advertising that they needed the ward to be fixed, the physical ward. Some of the machinery in there, them have to use rope and tie or lace and tie because it now functions. So they need a whole heap of fixing up, a whole heap of different things needed to be bought. So I never understood the logic of buying one CT scan machine. Now I am hearing from Dr. Alfred Dawes that indeed the whole idea and what was posited to Sagicor to raise the funds was to actually fix the ward. So my question is, ladies and gentlemen, why wasn't the ward fixed? Why then buy one CT scan? No, we understand. And to add insult to injury, they deceived Sagicor into thinking that the people at the ward, the actual staff that was a part of the advertisement, now they feel used. They feel used. They were pimped, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are gangsters. This is what a pimp does, you know. A fraudster, you know. Right? Use you to gain funds for their own agenda. So not only was Sagicor used according to this new development, but the staff was used, the staff at the pediatric ward, they should sue as well. Sagicor should sue, and the staff at the pediatric ward should sue the management. Their image was used improperly in an advert to deceive Sagicor. This should be a joint lawsuit. Hey, a serious business, this, you know? Dorothy, what are you doing? A serious business, this, you know? Listen to what Mr. Alfred Dawes is saying.
We're not. We feel sorry for Sagicor.
Listen to this.
Because it's hospital. And it is being spun as if we are attacking a private sector entity.
Yes.
No, we're not. We feel sorry for Sagicor.
My God.
Because Sagicor had all good intentions to help the pediatric unit at the University Hospital.
Wow.
The pediatricians were very involved in the Sagicor Foundation's efforts to raise the funds. But then Sagicor was misled, hoodwinked, taken for a ride by senior managers at the University Hospital who told them that the pediatric department had bought into the reallocation of the resources. So instead of the $75 million going towards the pediatric ward that it was initially earmarked for, it went towards a CT scanner purchase. And the poor organization, not knowing what was going on, went along with it. The pediatricians were basically told by some managers that they are not getting the money. The money is going to be used elsewhere and they have no say in the matter.
Mighty God, it sounds like a monarch to me. I am king, I am emperor, and what I say goes. And they use a different tone with Sagicor, the banking institution. Wow. Wow. Where you say this is another shaggy stunt? Mighty God. This is high levels of manipulation, ladies and gentlemen. High levels of manipulation.
Instead of the $75 million going towards the pediatric ward that it was initially earmarked for, it went towards a CT scanner purchase. And the poor organization, not knowing what was going on, went along with it. The pediatricians were basically told by some managers that they are not getting the money. The money is going to be used elsewhere and they have no say in the matter. In their words, they feel like they were used. And
I mean, that's I tell you, it's a pimp thing. Pumped and dumped, prostituted. This is financial prostitution, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for the people on TikTok, please go to my bio and subscribe to my YouTube page. Alright, I'm live on YouTube. This battery is going to die soon. Alright, so go and subscribe. You can just go over to YouTube from now. Go over to YouTube from now, guys. The link is in my bio. The YouTube link is in my bio. Alright, the battery up on 18%. At any time it can shut off. Mighty God.
It's situations like this that has led to low staff morale and has led to poor service at the University Hospital of the West Indies. And if it continues this way,
yes,
you're going to see the death of a regional institution.
And that's a fact. The whole entire organization is being eroded. The reputation is going all the way down in the gutter. I'm telling you, Sagicor should sue. Oh, I just remembered. There was an allegation by Dr. Hunter on Andre Stevens' show that that particular CT scan is not even being used for the purposes to benefit we, the public. It's being used allegedly for the purposes of a particular individual's private practice at the UHWI. That is one of the grossest allegation around this situation with the UHWI. Yeah, man. Dr. Hunter was on Andre's show, man. And he called in. I remember, I played it on my platform already. I remember quite vividly. I said, what? I said, Dr. Hunter, no. And him call name. Him call name. I not call the name, but him call name. But I one of the boys. You understand? Dangerous people, my man. Dangerous.
Now, when you speak about reforms, immediately after the tabling of the Auditor General's report, when it became public,
yes,
the minister announced a panel to look into the operations
listen to this.
of the hospital and what
Listen
exactly
to this.
could have been done to prevent this scandal from unfolding.
Yes.
And it seems genuine when you look at it, that we're seeing the report coming out and then the minister taking decisive action less than 24 hours later. But
ladies and gentlemen, make me stop the butt. It seems genuine that Christopher Tufton wants to actually fix the problem with his alacrity, the alacrity move that he made right after the report came out, and even admitting to the seriousness of these problems that are there. You want me to go and play some of the clips of Christopher Tufton and what he said online about the situation? It gave the appearance that, you know, he's taking this thing quite seriously and trying to get to the bottom of it. Because, you know, this is new. Not true. Who remember? But, ladies and gentlemen, there's a but.
coming out and then the minister taking decisive action less than 24 hours later. But they knew about the report from last year. What?
Wanna hear that? You could hear a rat piss and cat. They knew about the report from last year. So why did Christopher Tufton, if he knew about the report from last year and he cares about actually fixing the problem, why didn't he act from last year? Thank you so much, DJ Roy. Why did Christopher Tufton not act on immediately when he knew about the report from last year? Why didn't he act on it? More that we sink in Jamaica. Because some of them people here and some of them laboratories are slow enough. I focus on Dennis Gardner and one bag of crap, which them not have no evidence on. We're talking about evidence. Why didn't Christopher Tufton act on the information from last year? Doesn't that suggest that he's not genuinely concerned about fixing the problem? Using my deductive reasoning, I would think that he really doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn. And I'm sorry if it appears that I think little of Christopher Tufton, but I do think little of him. From the moment he said out of his mouth in the pandemic, if you want water, take the joke, that was it for me. These things that are coming up scandal back a scandal is just validating my thoughts about him. My assessment of Christopher Tufton is being validated by the evidence that is coming out. I have already ruled my personal thoughts and rules on the character of Christopher Tufton. And trust me, none of it is positive. Some things I reserve and I will not say. But none of it is positive. What a wickedness. Eh? What a wickedness.
Exactly could have been done to prevent this scandal from unfolding. And it seems genuine when you look at it, that we're seeing the report coming out and then the minister taking decisive action less than 24 hours later. But they knew about the report from last year.
Wow.
Why wasn't this panel announced last year? Because the panel is only to serve as a distraction for you to wait 4 months, lose interest, and then you would move on to another scandal somewhere else, maybe Cornwall Regional, and then this matter would die a slow and painful death. But the minister did not need to empanel another set of individuals to look into the findings of the Auditor General report. In fact, there was already an investigative report, and this was submitted to the board from November last year.
It gets worse. You see how diabolical? You see how diabolical the Jamaica Labour Party is? There was a formal report from last year, November, you know. The man of the paper in I'm hand, you know. Again, I say to you guys on TikTok, my battery is going to die. Wanna leave TikTok? Go to my bio, click the link and click the YouTube link and go to my page on YouTube. Everybody go over to YouTube. Battery got dead. I just wanted to bring the conversation to you guys as briefly so we can transfer over to YouTube because my battery are dead. The phone I go shut off anytime. Only so stubborn man, go over to YouTube, subscribe, and then you can type in the chat on YouTube. Add it, big up yourself. The link to my YouTube page is in my bio. All I'm a real supporter of them on TikTok. Go over to my YouTube page now. And drop one of them cowboy out there before you leave if you can.
So the findings of the Auditor General report. In fact, there was already an investigative report, and this was submitted to the board from November last year. And this investigative report looked into the Auditor General's report, and it found evidence of similar things: a lack of procurement plans, lack of documented controls, repeated internal audit warnings, fragmented governance structures, insufficient staffing. And when it went through department by department to show that the procurement department had staff that were not trained in procurement, there's a lack of digitization, and there was no documentation of internal controls. The finance department was weak. The internal audit.
The phone not charge, man. That's why that phone is funny. That's why when I tell them to go over to YouTube, I tell them I can't charge the phone without turning it off. It's not going to charge while on. The battery has been compromised. It's an old phone. You understand? Like me say, I wasn't gonna go live on TikTok at all. But because we didn't want to carry the conversation over here, so that at least understand what is going on, I'm going to have a chance to come over YouTube. I say, yo, come over YouTube if you don't support the platform. If you don't support me, understand, because only people that watch me. I want to not even hit the like button, who just watch me. I want to not even tap up the screen. I want to not send a gift, I want to not nothing. I want to not comment, I want to not nothing. I want to just stay in nice space and just listen. Which you know I have all right to do, but I'm just saying. All of my true supporters, the battery is going to die. Claudette, what's up? Go right up here, so click this face right here, my symbol, the picture, and go to the bio. Click the YouTube link, the YouTube URL where you see in the bio. Click it, open it, subscribe. What is block me? I block you? What? Hold on there. I don't understand. Yo, why you come here? Someone don't know me, yeah, man. My sugar finger for black no normal, you know. I not beg no friend pan this, you know. I'm not beg nobody to agree with me, you know. You understand? So, it is what it is, man. I'm not losing no sleep. Shit. But there was a report, ladies and gentlemen, that outlined all of the same issues that the Auditor General was investigating. The board had it. So why Christopher Tufton wants us to believe that he is now just aware? That way, the Minister of Health. What is the responsibilities of the Minister of Health? What is the responsibilities of the Minister of Health in Jamaica? Let me look at this. The Minister of Health and Wellness currently is this person. Key responsibilities: policy development, regulating public or private health services, regulating public or private health services, managing pandemic responses, promoting health lifestyle to reduce non-communicable diseases. Key responsibilities: policy strategy, healthcare access and quality, ensuring universal access to healthcare, overseeing public hospitals and improving health infrastructure, regulatory standards, monitoring public and private health facilities, regulating drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, and setting health standards. Leading initiatives for wellness such as promoting physical activity and healthy lifestyle choices to prevent illnesses. Managing health responses during pandemic, blah, blah, blah. But the key thing is monitoring public and private health facilities. Monitoring public and private health facilities, ladies and gentlemen. So, I guess he was not monitoring. If he wants us to believe that he actually does not know about this report to the board, I guess he's not fulfilling his responsibilities now, is he? So much letters can go up. For how much years now them have the problem then? This is not a one-off problem, you know. It's a long-standing problem, you know. So what was Christopher Tufton doing? Sleeping? Was he sleeping? Remember the sleep on the job? Let me tell you something. Whether it's negligence that caused this, or it's direct or indirect decision making that caused this, Christopher Tufton should be fired. Period. Point blank. No institution, no workplace that have an owner has a employee of a high level as Christopher Tufton in managerial position, and don't fire him after the litany of scandals that has taken place. And this government claim, Andrew Honest claims that he's accountable. He claims that his government is transparent. Yet them hide report after report after report after report. Kroll report, FinSac report. Every report them hide. Gag order government. Right? Me tell you on TikTok say but you don't believe me. See that? Gone now.
Meant by the department
people on TikTok
to show that
like
the procurement department
like I
had
said, come over to my YouTube. Alright? Go to the link in my bio and you'll see the YouTube link for my YouTube and come over to my YouTube. I'm out. This phone off a charge. This phone is dead in.
similar things, a lack of procurement plans, lack of documented controls, repeated internal audit warnings, fragmented governance structures, insufficient staffing, and when it went through department by department to show that the procurement department had staff that were not trained in procurement.
How is that possible?
There's a lack of digitization and there was no documentation of internal controls.
How can you have a staff that's supposed to deal with procurement but was not trained in how to handle procurement. And it goes back to the people that he hired, that Christopher Tufton hired for the job. How do they hire people that and oversee people that? Is it their intention to not really have anything procured and no proper documentation? It would appear to be so, given the length of time of which they actually did not have the proper procurement documents and was not practicing any digitalization of said procurement. There's a whole digitalized system for it, They boast about these things, and then the people that they have in position is not actually using tools there for us to have proper accountability. I don't understand these people. Right? And then they make excuses. It's crazy.
The finance department was weak. The internal audit department, they repeatedly flagged issues, but no action taken by management or the audit committee. And of course, they had insufficient staffing and insufficient space to perform.
So the problems, what is that smell? The problems were there, ladies and gentlemen, but they were never fixed. The problems were there, but they were never fixed. Wow.
The duties. You look again at system-wide governance failures. Audit committee not performing its statutory role. CEO and senior directors not enforcing internal audit recommendations. No coordination between internal audit and risk management. And of course, again, insufficient digitization. The office of the CEO was flagged repeatedly for breaches. The CEO, reading from the internal audit, the internal investigative report, the CEO confirms ultimate responsibility for operational decisions, including procurement approvals.
You hear that?
We know where the buck stops, and we know who allowed the buck to stop there.
Hey.
So we do have not just the findings, but we have the recommendations. So I don't know what this new panel is going to add when this investigative committee has already said that we should establish board-approved annual strategic procurement plans. We should have digital procurement. We should have immediate training and certification of all procurement staff, increased staffing, and of course, strengthening the audit committees. It's all here.
So basically, Jamaica, this board that Christopher Tufton put together, it's a farce. It's all to put you to sleep in the next 4 months about this issue. They understand the problem. The recommendations to fix the problems are already there. All it needs is the political will to do the implementation. What implementation? Fire the people them were responsible. Resign. Andrew Ones. If you don't fire Christopher Tufton, it won't have go pack up and go. Yeah, man. Don't have to pack up and go. Lord have mercy. See that? No, plug this out. You have to go to, you have to go to. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You have to go because this don't make no sense, man.
It's all here. There's no reason to have another panel.
No.
Is the minister aware of this investigative report? And if he is aware of the investigative report, why was this not made public? And why is he creating another panel instead of insisting on these changes?
Yes. Well, let's guess what? If Christopher Tufton is not aware, of this report, it means that he's not doing his job effectively, which is still a problem. Secondly, now he's aware. What is going to be his course of action? Is he still going to continue with the foolishness of the board that he put together? Or is he going to take up these recommendations, these sound recommendations, to fix the problem? Because the problem is affecting people right now. He might go wait 4 months. while people are suffer, while the reputation of the actual university is being eroded by the second. What will Christopher Tufton do? Will he do the right thing? More importantly, what will Andrew Holness do? Will he do the right thing? As the leader of all of this nonsense that is going on, will he do the right thing?
On these changes. Again, it speaks to PR over the need and the political will for reforms at the university hospital. I'm going to close by reading something.
Yes, read this.
In spite of everything that's happened, repeatedly, scandal after scandal that have been brushed away by an untouchable minister.
Yes.
With his untouchable servants.
Yes.
We have to take firm action in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence, and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. These are not my words. These are the words of Dr. Andrew Holness when he was leader of the opposition. Thank you.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic. We remember when Andrew Holness said those words. Can I find that clip? Can I find that clip? Is it this one?
It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government. We don't feel comfortable.
Hey, cock mode kill cocky. Big up Mr. Wayne Lonesome. I have to make sure that I take that clip. It's a dark day. It's a dark day, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the words of Andrew Holness speaking about the then Minister of Health and Portia Simpson-Miller, the Prime Minister. Right? Listen to what he's saying and tell me if it doesn't apply to this very situation with Christopher Tufton and himself and UHWI and the drill and Market Me and the 24 babies that died at Jubilee Hospital and the 200 plus that have died over the last couple of years under their watch. Listen.
You know when I've been down for government I know this all your
It is a dark day for Jamaica. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government. We don't feel comfortable.
You know when I've been down for government I know this or you hold the PAB to a standard that you can help poor people. And you know, turn it now political. We love to use the word father, right? All right. So this is a dark day according to you. Not one said no thief or nothing. Let me show you something. Watch your screen.
Then should I make Dr. Dawes go last? Dr. Dawes should I go last, cause no, this is a mic drop moment, you know. This is a mic drop moment. Playing the words, reciting the words of the dead opposition leader, Andrew Holness. Young Andrew Holness. It's a dark day, Andrew. Then a 1 hour eclipse. Whole of Jamaica dark like down at St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. When on a light. According to the apostle, they can use one knife and cut through the darkness. Thick like a meat. You would think I want solid structure you're walking at. I saw you have Jamaica under your corrupt government. Andrew Holness. Play it again.
It is a dark day for Jamaica.
Yes.
Where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act.
So Andrew Holness, you are either unwilling or afraid to act for either fire or force Christopher Tufton to resign. After all the scandal them and the present scandal them add up. You're either unwilling. I believe you're unwilling. Why are you unwilling? Does Christopher Tufton have secret for you, Andrew Holness? Is it because you might be as well compromising some level in regards to your statutory declaration and possibly other things? Does Christopher Tufton know your business, Andrew, that you can't fire him? Make you unwilling to fire him? Because there's no question, you know. These types of things get you fired from organizations. Straight up. When you have a board that pointed out and found somebody qualified that has a reputation to turn an institution around, and you make an executive decision as the Minister of Health and decide that they're going to put who you want to put there, you have to ensure to the boss, which is us the people, right, through proven practice that this person was the best choice, because we had a great opportunity to get somebody that was literally qualified. So now that that person is gone, we are going to look at your person where you put in with a higher level of scrutiny. And when they mess up, it means you mess up, Christopher Tufton. And there's no doubt that they mess up. Oh, they royally messed up. I'm talking about criminal charges might be laid against them after a proper investigation. Tax fraud, all of them something there. Potentially, Rose, I'm telling you, they are, yeah, it's a serious thing. Like up the live, guys. I don't know why my people have not like up the live, you know. The rest of you watching, like up the live. The ones that haven't already, like up the live, man. People passing through, hey, welcome. Please hit the like button. Thank you. If you even spend 5 minutes, smash the like button for me. No, we need God help, you know, Matthew. This is no joke. This is no joke. If these are the people presiding over our affairs, we're in desperate trouble. Desperate, desperate, desperate trouble.
Against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that.
So Andrew, You not hear the report of the doctors and the nurses. They have lost trust in your minister. We, the people, have lost trust in him. I think a little bit of people tears upon Christopher Tufton and prayers. Fire there must still and think a cool breeze. God not sleeping up. Contrary to some belief, God is not sleeping.
This person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has...
Christopher Tufton don't enjoy my trust or faith. And I'm sure many of my viewers don't enjoy it either. Many of my supporters don't enjoy it either. We're not confident in that Christopher Tufton managing any ministry of government. You can't move him from this and put him nowhere else. He has to go. All trust has been eroded. The market meeting, we can't trust him. And of course, we can't even trust you, Andrew. That's why we are beckoning to God to intervene.
The potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
Well, I can tell you, Andrew, what you guys are doing will definitely bring down your entire government. So continue. It's only unfortunate that your path of self-destruction is going to affect innocent people. That's the only thing I have a problem with. The fact that other people will indirectly be affected by your own self-destruction. Fragments of the explosion of your own self-destruction is going to affect we the people of Jamaica. It's already affecting us. People have died. Babies have died. By the hands of the hospitals, because of these decisions made by these board members all around the country, by the decisions made by Christopher Tufton. Lack of action by Christopher Tufton. Proper action that was recommended by staff and senior members within these organizations. And as a result, people have suffered already. And you talk about bring down the government. Nobody has to lie on you. Boy, hey, Mr. Golden, that's a tough act to follow, you know, man. But you surely came with the fire, man. And context. You know, listen to Mr. Golden. Sir Golden. Man, coming in speech, you know. You remember good?
Thank you very much, Dr. Dawes. I come to this matter as somebody who was born and grew up on the university campus. My father served at the University Hospital of the West Indies for over 40 years to the date of his death. And as a youngster, I used to frequently visit Ward 17, which was the ward that he headed, Christmas Day, giving out presents, etc. So when I see this cherished institution, which was the leading light of the University of the West Indies as a tertiary institution, and had built a reputation of excellence over many years, coming to this point, this very low point, where the Auditor General has exposed system failures, governance weaknesses, malfeasance, procurement violations, and where anecdotally one hears on a regular basis the dire situation faced by people who come to the hospital and need medical care. It really is a
Terrible.
travesty, and it pains my heart as somebody who has this long-standing familial connection with the institution. This is a government that doesn't hold its leaders to account.
Aye.
There's no accountability within the Andrew administration. We have a minister.
Listen to me. Let me just add to what Mark Bolden is saying. Floyd Green, no movement there, shower labor right. No accountability. Floyd Green has risen up in the ranks of the Jamaica Labour Party. No accountability. Dalrymple, IC case, charge, run back to MP, and become part of the oversight committee for Integrity Commission. And he's in the judicial, the Ministry of Justice, and want to challenge a real lawyer in Isaac Buchanan. George Wright. Mr. Back. With the chair. Still get opportunity for running our last election. The Lord said no. And then try, boy, them try. Even the other day when items were being sent out for relief, him a collect item and him an MP with police. When you never see the video? Care packages. When you never see the video? No accountability. None. When the Auditor General report came out about what I better than name again? Brian Dunstan. What name again? All they make him do is resign. Trillions and hundreds of billions of dollars missing, unaccounted for. Same health ministry. No accountability. None. But my leader, Mark Jefferson Golding, of the People's National Party, stood on business, stood on integrity. No nonsense. And Mr. Newell was put in the situation. No, Mr. Newell, what name again? I always forget the general name down the other side. Somebody remind me of name, the guy where they talk about the scam of them. And Mark Bolin remove him from representing the party in the election as an MP. You remember his name?
That doesn't hold its leaders to account. There's no accountability within the Andrew Holness administration.
None.
We have a Minister of Health who has gone from one scandal, one massive failing to the next. From the Cornwall Regional Hospital debacle, still unresolved. The dead baby situation, and there's no accountability. And this situation at the University Hospital is one that he cannot wash his hands of. The reason being that he was responsible for disbanding the board of the hospital that had commenced a process of getting the systems, the governance, and the management of the hospital into a state of good order. They had commenced, most importantly, a CEO recruitment process. And that was a professional and transparent global search for a suitably qualified and experienced person.
That is important. there was a credible search for somebody that is qualified for the job to fix the problem at the university. And Christopher Tufton said, no, don't want you. My friend me a put in. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And that was a professional and transparent global search for a suitably qualified and experienced person to take over as the chief executive officer of the hospital. And a firm that was experienced with Government of Jamaica protocols, received over 40 applications, shortlisted 6 qualified candidates, and the board's Human Resources Subcommittee unanimously selected a top candidate who happened to be from overseas.
Unanimously. That decision was overturned by Christopher Tufton. This lady was so qualified, everybody said, yo, she's the one for the job. 6 persons were looked at, ladies and gentlemen. A proper procurement process of finding somebody that is qualified to fix the issues at the hospital. And from Christopher Tufton got involved, the issues have gotten worse.
That board also implemented successfully long-stalled hospital information management systems that have been inactive since 2017. And they had revived that in 2022, 2023, and were getting that on track. And an internal audit had uncovered irregularities in contract awards and purchasing, and the board detected suspected fraud in the payroll department, and that had led to arrests. And the board initiated measures to recover over 30% of potential billing revenue.
People get arrested by this same board. Whoa, hold on there, what you say?
Getting that on track. And an internal audit had uncovered irregularities in contract awards and purchasing, and the board detected suspected fraud in the payroll department, and that had led to arrests. And the board initiated measures to recover over 30% of potential billing revenue that was being written off or uncollected before their tenure. This was a board that was working. This was a board that was seeking to address deep structural problems in the governance and management of the hospital.
No, Christopher Tufton is a wicked son of a bitch. You're telling me that this board was fixing problem and people not get locked up. And you come on TVG and talk about this is a long-standing issue, as if the issue wasn't being dealt with by the board where it dissolved. No. Ladies and gentlemen, this has gone too far. Heads have to roll for this. People have to get fired. Christopher Tufton need to go, man. No, man. This is what we have to go march for. This is what we have to march for. We have to take it to the streets. We have to take it to the streets. No, we have to take it to the streets. We have to march up at Christopher Tufton office. And Andrew Owen's office. Office of the Prime Minister. And we have to go turn up out and do and put up a placard. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. This is unbelievable. The board was actually fixing the problems. Christopher Tufton gave me the instinctive impression for a film interview on TVJ, saying, say boy, it's like a previous administration and all long. Which I was saying, okay, even if it is, you've been in power for 10 years, so why not fix? That was my first thought, you know. But you're telling me from in 2017, the board has been moving with alacrity to fix the situations? And in 2023, and in those times, they were doing such of a good job that people were being locked up and monies was being reimbursed. And you dissolve this board? Christopher Tufton, you gotta go down. No. It can't work. It can't work. Me tell you, so them people that is the agent of destruction for this blurred not country. You know? Them is the agent of chaos and destruction for this country. You know? Them is a divisive, destructive element to the progress of Jamaica. You know? What can go so? How do you explain dissolving a board that was actually functioning in its capacity? These people are diabolical. Mighty God. The fact of the matter is people are actually suffering because of their decisions in the hospitals and the services where they get. People are dying. Even students are being affected at the USWI because of the decisions that they made. If it was up to me, me lock them up and throw the key in the court of law. Them wouldn't want to see me as a judge, you know. Them wouldn't want to see me as a judge. Me can't tell her that. These evidence alone warrant people to get locked up and in prison. Have to clean up a country, man. Me glad say the prophetic word saying, you know, before or by 2027 we are going to have a righteous leader, you know. The shift is already happening, you know. The shift is already happening. Praises be to the Most High. We can't continue like this, Virgin.
And purchasing.
Can't continue
and
like
the board
this.
detected suspected fraud in the payroll department, and that had led to arrests. And the board initiated measures to recover over 30% of potential billing revenue that was being written off or uncollected before their tenure. This was a board that was working. This was a board that was...
So the problems preceded the board, and the board was actually fixing the problems that preceded them, and Christopher Tufton dissolved the board. No, man, me not understand. No, Jamaica. You see, let me tell you something. You know me? Avoid me. When it comes to the political talk, don't talk to me. If you still support this political party after these revelations and you have an understanding of the facts, do not talk to me in a nothing to do with politics. You're going to anger my spirit. I don't want to talk to you. Don't ask me nothing about politics. If you want to hear, come on the platform and hear my perspective. But in a real life, if you know me, don't talk to me about no politics. I'm going to run your way. Yeah, man, I'm going to run your way. In a real life, I'm going to run you away. And somehow I'm going in silent treatment because I'm not talking to none at all. Worse if I never did deal with none before. For only to continue to support this. I tell you, I'm going to wait till it happens to no grandmother at the hospital, on a pregnant girlfriend or wife, or on a pregnant mother, or on a pregnant auntie, or on a father where elderly, or on a grandfather. We're not going to wait until the decisions that they have made directly affect your family, and then they're going to jump out in the street crying out for people to support you and advocate on your behalf. And it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. What is? We just get a breaking news. Oh, this are the, oh, okay. This are, no, that's from last night. That's from last night. That's not breaking news. That's from last night. What is now? Oh, this cold front America, okay.
Seeking to address deep structural problems in the governance and management of the hospital.
Bro.
The account of the then chairman of the board that was dismissed, I think, in December 2023.
Yes.
Speaks to the...
So they remember this are the chairman of the board that was actually fixing the problems, you know. The same board that Christopher Tufton dissolved, you know. Listen to the comments of the chairman of the board.
The account of the then chairman of the board that was dismissed, I think, in December 2023.
Yes.
Speaks to the selected CEO candidate having withdrawn due to unwarranted pushback from elements that were opposed to this positive change. Prevention of the automatic permanent appointment of the acting CEO. Seeking to do that, the board voted to appoint another senior director as acting CEO because they were faced with a situation where the chosen person...
The internet is a very vast and incredible place. If anybody knows the lady that was recommended for the job and she flew down to Jamaica, if anybody knows that lady, please, I need to get in contact with her. I would love for her to come on one of the programs. It doesn't even have to be my program. I want her experience to be documented. When she flew to Jamaica, what was her experience with the Minister of Health and the members of the UHWI board and staff. I want to hear from that lady. Ma'am, please, if you get wind of this, it is quite urgent that you get in touch with me and we can arrange you being interviewed. You understand? To tell your story. Please. We would really appreciate it. We're here in Jamaica. We have a dire situation where our institutions of health are concerned. And it's because of the government and the ruling party and the Minister of Health why the situations are the way they are. And it would help us, right, to one, fully understand just what happened to you and could open doors to other ones to bravely come out and speak about what potentially happened to them under this government. There's a doctor that was on TVJ and on all angles. And she stated that there's over 40 doctors that she knew that ready right now, not working, don't have a job, and want to be, in position to do so, to help the services all around the island. And we have to ask the questions, why aren't they being hired when there's a shortage? Why? Qualified doctors, why? What is it that some of these doctors are being blacklisted because they don't fit in the status quo of the authoritarianism of this government and the Ministry of Health? Is it possible that that is the case? How are you doing, Ryan Campbell? Ladies and gentlemen, this is dangerous to our health as users of the healthcare system. It is dangerous to our health.
Person was effectively driven out, and they did not want to return to the status quo which they were seeking to move away from in a positive direction. And that is when the minister intervened, overturned that board decision, insisting that the former acting CEO remain and that the search for a new manager, new CEO, be restarted. The then chairman resigned on December 4th in the face of this interference, stating that the situation he had found himself in was untenable. And the minister then dissolved the entire board and appointed a new one. That is the context in which this Auditor General's report must be seen.
Exactly.
This Auditor General's report that has uncovered numerous serious failings in governance, procurement, and general management. It has happened under the watch of this minister, a minister who has interfered in an attempt, a legitimate and bona fide attempt, by a previous board to rectify the situation. Most importantly, from going through a process to recruit a suitable and qualified person to take over the day-to-day responsibility of Chief Executive Officer. A process that was thwarted, and the status quo was allowed to remain, and we see where we are now, in a mess.
Total mess.
The buck stops with the minister.
Yes.
The university hospital is too important to Jamaica's national development for this to be allowed to go with no one being held accountable. It is just another incident in the litany of malfeasance, of corruption, of nepotism, which has been a feature of the Andrew Holness government for the last 10 plus years. And although the frequency of these incidents is such that people tend to become immune to them, it is our responsibility as the opposition to bring it to the attention of the people of Jamaica and to frame it in the appropriate context so that people can recognize the dangers of allowing these things to go unchecked without proper accountability for those whose responsibility it is to prevent these things from happening or to take the right steps to move forward and solve them.
Yes.
And that is why we call this press conference today. Thank you.
Well said, Mr. Golden. We can't allow this situation to become a 9-day wonder, ladies and gentlemen. Because the decisions that are being made is affecting us on a daily basis right now, and it's going to affect us in the future. And unfortunately, if it continues in the trajectory in which it's happening, it's only going to get worse. And we're already at the precipice, looking at a shark-infested water that we're being pushed over.
Now, there you have it. If you have questions and you're in the room.
No, after listen to all the media, nationwide specifically, listen to their questions. These questions were already prepared, you know. As far as me concerned, you know. They did not come for this press conference, you know. They came to this shock from the message of the press conference. Listen to this.
Please indicate by raising your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Please say your name and the news agency you represent. If you are online via Zoom platform, please use the raised hand icon. We will acknowledge you. If you wish to speak, you'll be acknowledged and you'll be permitted to go ahead. Or we can read a message and question for you if you put it in the chat.
Good morning. My name is MAGNITSKY Robinson. I'm from TVJ News.
All right.
My question is...
So TVJ News go first. Listen to TVJ News.
For the opposition leader. Mr. Golding, the medical company owned by the party is the chairman for Region 3.
TVJ is compromised. TVJ is compromised. Look at what TVJ wants to focus on. Out of all of the details that was just presented, you are telling me that you want to focus on Dennis Garden allegations? A board that was dissolved by Christopher Tufton. A chairman that was pretty much pushed out, forced to resign because of the monarchical nature of Christopher Tufton's decisions. That led to somebody being employed that is linked to Christopher Tufton from high school. All the details of the report and how that decision has affected the institution and its operation. You're telling me, TVJ, that is your question? The fact that Tufton, there was a report from November that stated all of the things that needed to be fixed. That is your question?
3, and MP for East Central St. Andrew, Dennis Gordon, has been linked to benefiting from the unlawful tax cuts at the University Hospital. Now, in light of your tough stance against corruption, how are you treating with this matter?
At this point, the only...
You know, I have never heard TVJ ask Andrew Holness this line of question in regards to what he's going to do with Christopher Tufton and all the other ministers of government. So is it that TVJ and all these media houses have accepted that Andrew Holness is a corrupt government and they don't expect of him to operate within the parameters of good governance? So they don't press him on these types of questions. Is that what is going on? I can't wait to hear TVJ ask Andrew Holness these type of questions in regards to his own party. Flip it. Andrew, hey, me say all me should have blows and skirt there at one of them press conference there as a something there. Big up yourself, Matthew. I would say, Andrew Holness, according to your ministers of government, you are a transparent and accountable government, yes? And if this is true, why haven't you acted and made Christopher Tufton accountable for his deeds, his actions that led to the results of the UHWI in the state that is in? Make him walk around at the question there, if him thinking bad. Them not ask no tough question to Andrew Holness and Christopher Tufton. They just make them talk and softball them. Ask them the question around the facts. Them ask Mark Golding questions on allegation. Nobody called Dennis Gordon name in the Auditor General report. Nobody. Nationwide. And them a push this narrative and all of the other JLP flag of them.
Formal investigative report we have. At this point, the only formal investigative report we have is the Auditor General's report. And that report does not name any specific company as being involved in anything.
No, none of them.
It points out that certain companies appear to have received certain benefits and raises real concerns about that. And when those matters are formally investigated, the chips will have to fall where they lie. But at this juncture,
simple.
Sure, I'm not prepared to talk about any specific company because none has been named in any official report. And all you're going on is things that have been said by certain media houses. And I don't want to engage in that.
Watch Dirty Nationwide. Every single blouse and skirt, what you call it, that boy, him always did it. And him them say, if you come question Mark Golding, he never have question for nobody else, you know. This is an agenda, ladies and gentlemen, to thwart the narrative. This brother never have a question for nobody else but Mark Golding. Yes, when Nationwide said that a while ago, when Mark Golding said that a while ago, the camera go upon him. Cameraman, big up yourself. And him a come laugh and a smile. Them is a shameless set, you know. A disgusting, shameless set. They have no shame. They are paid operatives of the Jamaica Labour Party. They have no shame. None.
A follow-up to that question, Mr. Golding. Siobhan Campbell from Nationwide News. The matter raised by my colleague, have you actually raised it with the chairman of Region 3, that's Dennis Gordon? Has he given you an explanation or an answer regarding the allegations raised?
First of all, I just want to wish your CEO, I assume he's your CEO, your leader in Nationwide, a speedy recovery from his recent health challenge. I hope he recovers well and quick. And in terms of your question,
what class? That is why I support Mark Jefferson Gordon. What class? First of all, you know, I hope that your leader has a speedy recovery. What class?
I've had discussions with the person to whom you referred. Those discussions are not matters that I would disclose the details of. Suffice to say, he knows my position because my position is not new, and he agrees with my position that, you know, chips must fall where they lie if there's anything in any kind of allegation. But at this juncture, he has maintained that he has done nothing wrong, and I have no reason to doubt that because I haven't seen any official investigation, any official report suggesting otherwise. And I'm not.
Key, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Gordon, in the talks with the leader, Mark Golding, has said he has done nothing wrong. You heard that? Let us be clear. I hope them put that on the front page. Dennis Gordon has said to Mark Golding, I have done nothing wrong. And Mark Golding is saying, I have not seen any evidence to suggest otherwise. And until that is presented, we are where we are. So when the chips fall, if it fall upon a guilty verdict for Dennis Gordon, everybody knows what's going to happen. Mark Golding has been very clear about how he operates as a leader. Andrew Honest is very clear on the shadiness of how he operates. That is the difference between a good leader with integrity and one that doesn't have any. Mark Golding has integrity. He demonstrates it. He doesn't just talk. So everybody knows what is going to happen. Nobody is unclear about what is going to happen if Dennis Gordon is indeed guilty of anything untoward in regards to the Auditor General's report. Okay? So let's focus back on the substantive issue. Christopher Tufton needs to resign. We know what he did to the board. So he should resign. Based off that knowledge we know.
I'm prepared to engage in any speculative chase after any individual.
No speculation around here. It's funny how Nationwide defends Andrew Honest and claims that people are online speculating about the statutory declaration. But they want to go and speculate about a person that was not named in a report. No company name never come up in a report, you know. Who sent you Nationwide? Who sent you to put this propaganda out there about Mr. Dennis Gordon? Who sent you? Who is paying you to do this? Again, there's no evidence in the Auditor General report that named any company. Who sent you Nationwide? They have to be called out.
So based on rumor or based on conjecture or based on information, the source of which we have no knowledge of.
No knowledge.
Recognizing Zara Burton online, please unmute and go ahead with your question.
We can't hear a question. All right, me can't hear a question, but the context of the answer I'm going to make we know what our question is. It's a Zoom. Audio bad, man. Audio is bad.
Ms. Burton, if there has been any instance of taxes or duties that are properly payable having not been collected because of the way in which things were done, and those things were an improper situation, then those taxes should be collected, and whatever sanctions are appropriate should be imposed. I really have nothing further to say on it than that.
I agree, and I've been saying it. I don't care who is guilty, whether PMP or JLP members. The full course of the law should. Justice needs to be served. We're not compromising for nobody. Nobody. The welfare of Jamaica is bigger than any one person. So if you are compromising the welfare of this good country and its reputation or the ministries of government, you should be, whatever course of action, whether you should be locked up, you should be fired, whatever. It needs to happen, and we need leaders that stand on that principle. And if you're a leader that doesn't stand on that principle, you should be ushered out. You're destroying the fabric of our society. You should be ushered out. Can't hear the question, but again. That question was a long one. Wow.
Okay, Zara, thank you so much for that. As the leader of the opposition said earlier, we are not in any position to confirm or deny or substantiate anything that has been said by a particular media host about this topic. All we have is what the Auditor General has put on the table. The Auditor General's document has not named the company you sought to name just now. We would not be irresponsible to bring information and speculation to the table right now without further, because that is injurious to all parties involved. As the leader said, his principle and the principle of the People's National Party is that the chips will fall where they lie. All parties are aware of this position. Please go ahead with your question, Siobhan.
Yes, unless there's more questions regarding this matter, I did make a promise to my listeners that I would ask this the next time I had an opportunity, so I bring it here. We're still in the recovery phase from Hurricane Melissa. The People's National Party has courted donations from individuals on behalf of that effort. Is it the intention of the opposition to make available to the public what has been collected in terms of the quantum?
Hold on. You're call me. Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, Bolo.
Yeah. You sound low, mama. Let me call you back. Because sometimes I do this to me.
Yeah, may I tell us from the ignorance? Because the press conference isn't about what they are asking about.
Exactly.
What about what is in front of them? So them
Hold on, let me call you back again. Hold on, let me call you back again. It's still low. Something wrong. Why is so low?
Yeah.
Yeah, got you now.
Nobody was listening to the press conference.
None of the journalists, not even Zara Burton.
People.
None of them was listening to the press conference.
All they're asking about is this man.
Yes.
under the dialysis machine. That's not what the press conference. And they should have told them, listen, this is not what we came about, because it seems as none of y'all are listening.
Yes.
It is crazy though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody with intelligence or better or what the people
Talk up more.
Remember some of their work.
Oh, that's right.
It's like it go to. It's like what the man, what the press conference is about.
Mm-hmm.
It go through one ears and come through the other, because that's not what they went there for.
Yes. It's like they had pre-questions and they never had an opportunity to ask Mark Golding. So they just came to the press conference, not about the press conference, but to ask those questions.
That's what they came for. That's what they got Peckham do, to deflect.
Yes.
Because that. You understand?
Yes.
It's disgraceful and distasteful, man.
True, man.
To even hear and asking the questions that has nothing to do with the conference.
Yeah.
These people are crazy. Them, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna go back and listen.
All right, mama. All right, mama. Thanks for calling. Anybody else want to call on the call? But it's true. Right? That's just the truth. Them not really a focus on the actual information that was presented in front of them. Them not just how you're doing. They're not asking the question about that. They are deflecting, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big deflection tactic.
The People's National Party has always been very transparent and open with our financial accounting. Annually, that is published, audited financials, and I'm certain that this will form part of that process. In the meantime, we urge the government to be transparent and candid and to tell the nation what they've done with the millions they've raised in the name of Jamaica to build back constitution.
You mean the billions? You mean the almost trillions that they have collected? No, you have to quote it right. Millions of US dollars you are talking about. If a millions of US dollars you are talking about, well, you understand, because when you multiply those, it goes into billions and trillions of dollars. But I love how she answered them and say, yo, hey, trust me. Queen Isa?
Such as South St. James, we're still waiting to get some of that.
South St. James is still waiting to get some of that billions of dollars. And Jones want to collect for relief, hurricane relief. Them still waiting to hear the Queen of the South talk? Okay, good.
Yeah. So, yes, we have put in place a structure. We created a new structure after Melissa with a National Disaster Risk Management Committee within the party. There's a chairman, who's Fitz Jackson. There's a project director, who is the treasurer of the party, Senator Keisha Anderson. And part of their mandate is to ensure that there's full accountability and accounting for any relief that is administered through the party. So those reports will be prepared and will be made available in the appropriate channels. What I would say is that what we have heard is that there have been many billions of dollars of emergency procurement by the government. Emergency procurement means that there is no proper tendering and you don't know whether you're getting value for money. Now,
bingo, $5 billion. Who do you read the article? Me glad, you see, some of the time, you know, you see Dior, some of the time you turn lemon into lemonades. So you see them ask PMP about for them money. You see how Mr. Golden flip it. Did you guys read the article? $5 billion them say, them already spent. $5 billion. And those are emergency procurements. So do they have the proper accounting of those billions of dollars? Do they? That's what them should have focus on. Big up Mr. Mark Golding. Me try to find the article. See that? Emergency contracts top $5 billion since Hurricane Melissa, says Finance Minister official. Let's read. Zine, when we turn on that minute, please. Woman, remember saying always travel is something, you know. Zine, let me see if I can get this article I have to open up, ladies and gentlemen, because, yo, why them stay so? Let me just read the headline. It says, the government estimates that as of January 18 this year, the value of the emergency procurement contract has exceeded $5 billion since the passage of Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. Jovel Barrett, the Chief Public Procurement Officer at, at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, said the emergency procurement facility has been used to provide essential support and aid. So over $5 billion is gone into emergency procurement. Right?
Procurement by the government. Emergency procurement means that there is no proper tendering and you don't know whether you're getting value for money. Now, I'm not saying that the circumstances didn't warrant using that procurement methodology. What I am saying is that the accountability for those resources becomes all the more critical. And we don't know what mechanism the government is going to provide to assure the public that those resources have received value for money. I remember arriving in Black River a few days after Melissa, and I saw a member of parliament, not from St. Elizabeth, on a street corner. And when I asked, I was told trucks were being used for the cleanup. So there you go, from the day one almost, potential for nepotism, potential for persons getting the benefit of their inside connections was being manifest.
I never knew this. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Jefferson Golden said he witnessed a MP, not from St. Elizabeth, that apparently have some trucking, some trucks benefiting from these billions of dollars from day one. From day one. From day one. MP not from St. Elizabeth. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when Zulika Jess said, when Zulika Jess was told, said she was told by Andrew Oles not to procure any contractor? Hey! Yo, them people are wicked. Hey! Me say them people are wicked, them wicked. So nobody can tell me nothing. My personal view, based off of them actions, why is it that an MP that is not from St. Elizabeth I get procurement with trucks to go move debris? Nobody else couldn't get it done. Nobody, they only make no attempt to use somebody that is not affiliated to the government. No attempt.
Trucks were being used for the cleanup. So there you go, from the day one almost, potential for nepotism, potential for persons getting the benefit of their inside connections was being manifest. And so I feel that this is very important, and that I ask the media to ensure that they hold, or try their best to hold, those who are responsible for these huge resources being expended are held accountable for how it's being done. Similarly, in relation to the university hospital matter, I realize that the media is fixating on the allegation made by one media house. But when you look at the report, there are many important issues in that report that need to be addressed and should not be swept under the carpet There are multiple players involved, and it's important that we don't abandon any kind of balance in how we deal with this thing and focus on what is actually before us from a credible source. And the only credible source presently having provided any information to the public on this is the Auditor General through her report. And to the extent that she has findings in there that warrant further investigation, I expect those further investigations to be done by the appropriate authorities. And when they make their findings, we will address them. But at this point, we're not proceeding on the basis of speculation, character assassination, or anything of that nature. As I said, I have spoken to the persons involved. They have given me certain assurances, and at this juncture, I'm waiting to see how the matter develops in light of the report that we have, which is an Auditor General.
Recognizing Janelle person.
Argument done. That a argument done. Uno, mainstream media need to hold the government accountable and ventilate all of the issues that is on the Auditor General's report. Focusing on what? You guys are focusing on one. Uno have an agenda. Uno have an agenda. You guys are so biased that it smells like rotten eggs and cabbage mixed together. Uno know rotten cabbage smell bad and rotten egg. Uno I two of them mixed together. Mainstream media. And you all are being exposed. You know, not say regular people not watching. Uno not have no credibility. Most well-thinking Jamaicans don't watch you again, you know. Only credibility is gone down. All of the numbers is going down. All of the numbers are going down. Because I'm not asking the critical questions. You guys are not asking the very important questions to the issues that are affecting the regular folk. You guys are focused on maintaining the status quo. We don't want to get invited to the balls. No found involved in some groups that engage in sexual deviant activities. So one big nastiness amalgamated together. And then you have some who are innocent, really and truly, just a try to keep on a job. But the head of institutions, right, is have them own political agendas. I feel sorry for you because one, you don't have the bravery enough to go out on a limb and actually do your own thing as journalists independently and move away and speak with truth and speak and actually charge. Do what a journalist is supposed to do. You're not brave enough, you're not believing in yourself enough. You guys are not brave enough to fail and try again and 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 go again and go again and go again and go again. You guys are weak. And we need strong journalists in Jamaica. We are at a critical crossroad. You understand? Critical crossroad in our country. These are very, very serious issues that was mentioned about the UHWI. And you guys want to focus on the money that the PMP collected to help victims of Hurricane Melissa. That is what you guys want to focus on. When $5 billion is already gone and we don't have proper procurement because of the emergency procedure. How many potential skullduggeries have happened with the money already? How many potential members of the Jamaica Labour Party pockets have been filled? Are their friends? Are their girlfriends? Are their aunties? or their uncles? How much potentially? And this is a legit question because we have references where this has happened before. Wagwan Punkus, that name the bad. Punkus tea. But yo, what are you? No sir, Punkus. Oh yo. No.
Cheers. Please unmute and go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Hold on, it's just them still ask a question, but they're not doing it.
With the issue regarding the permanent secretary. All right, so I'll take the first and the third, and the party leader will speak to the issue regarding the permanent secretary. So I'll say again what has been said by Mr. Golding, and that I repeated. Mr. Golding had conversations with the named individual. He was given...
The people them still ask the question about Dennis Garden. All of the journalists then compromise. I am so disappointed in Zara Burton. I'm a little bit disappointed, I have to say. I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in Zara Burton. Out of all of them, I expect Nationwide TVG and the rest of them to do what them do. But not Zara Burton. So from she sit them and ask a question, should have asked her next question. And then this last person now will come on and ask this question. Why would you think you would get a different answer? The question was already asked and was answered. Them call you fat baby. Oh, and your uncle is an affectionate name, Punkus Afibi. That sounds like one name where one St. Mary somebody would have given. I St. Mary come from. No, sir.
Certain assurances. Mr. Golding also conveyed to the member in question that the party's position is, as is Mr. Golding's, that the chips will fall where they lie. With respect to the third question, today we are discussing a national health crisis that has the potential to derail the health conditions of many mothers, children, lots of people who are sick and needing health care. We wish to focus this discussion on that topic. We will, however, allow Mr. Golding to speak about the permanent secretary issue since you've raised that, but we want to refocus to the main issue. Thank you.
None of the journalists came to this press conference because they don't care about the issue. They have their own agenda to try to stick Dennis Garden and the PMP and mix them up in a JLP corruption. That's it. That's all they came there to do as far as I'm concerned. It's like it's coordinated. Everybody ready? So, this is what we're going to focus on. Keep it on Dennis Garden. Do not talk about the Ministry of Health. Do not talk about Christopher Tufton. Do not talk about Andrew Honest's leadership, although that is what we're supposed to talk about. Huh? Based off the facts. Not allegation, not innuendo, not speculation. The facts. And the mainstream media is supposed to be about the facts. Leave the speculation to independent media. Of course, they have descended into an all-time low. An all-time low.
Yeah, I mean, Janella, your first question was already answered. I don't see the need to repeat what I said before. In terms of where the chips lie means, that would depend on what the chips are. I can't speculate at this point as to what may or may not arise. On the third question, I'm here. I'm doing the party's work, and we're going through a process of appraisal and making the necessary organizational decisions so that we will get past the line next time. We were very close last time. If you add up the 4 seats that we needed to form government, And the total margin of adding up all 4 seats between the parties was 1,097 votes. That's how close this election was. So we have a lot to be encouraged by.
One of those seats was Andrew on his seat. You are closer than what you think. But that case, it's coming up. It's coming up.
And we're going to be doing the necessary things that we need to do to make sure that next time around we cross the table first. In terms of the second issue, my concern is that the permanent secretary in a ministry is a very senior position in the civil service. That person is the administrative head of the ministry. It's a permanent secretary. It's a permanent position that lasts for the career of that individual normally, once they're appointed, the rest of their career. And our tradition and our expectation is that the persons who hold those positions are not politically connected, are not known to have any kind of political affiliation or connection, because they have to serve successive administrations and must command the trust and confidence of the government of the day, which will change from time to time in a democracy such as ours. And that is the reason why I objected to this particular appointment. I have nothing against the individual concerned. Indeed, I've had quite cordial and productive dealings with her over the years as an MP when she was in her former position. It's nothing to do with her as an individual. It's the principle of this which is important. And we mustn't allow our principles to just slide away. At the end of the day, we're just governed entirely by opportunism and what suits the power interests of those who hold power. We must protect the democracy that we have and not take it for granted. Surely international events show the importance of that. And that is why I said what I said in relation to that specific point.
All right, we want to thank the members of...
So, the journalist has successfully diverted the conversation from the actual issues. So let's go back to the actual issues.
This at the University Hospital, where disaffected staff have written letters of complaints, where they've had meetings where the notes have been sent to the board, crying out for change. They have highlighted procurement issues, irregularities. They have been sidelined from the process. There has been a mismatch between what they need to function properly and the needs of the senior management of the University Hospital, leading to dysfunctional equipment and services not being able to attend to patients because there has been a reliance on infrastructural developments rather than giving them the tools they need to work with. We have to mention, of course, the Sagicor Foundation's donation to the hospital. And it is being spun as if we are attacking a private sector entity. No, we're not. We feel sorry for Sagicor because Sagicor had all good intentions to help the pediatric unit at the University Hospital. The pediatricians were very involved in the Sagicor Foundation's efforts to raise the funds. But then Sagicor was misled, hoodwinked, taken for a ride by senior managers at the University Hospital who told them that the pediatric department had bought into the reallocation of the resources. So instead of the $75 million going towards the pediatric ward that it was initially earmarked for, it went towards a CT scanner purchase. And the poor organization, not knowing what was going on, went along with it. The pediatricians were basically told by some managers that they are not getting the money. The money is going to be used elsewhere and they have no say in the matter. In their words, they feel like they were used. And it's situations like this that has led to...
So you're telling me that none of the journalists will never ask a question about that?
Low staff morale, and has led to poor service at the University Hospital of the West Indies. And if it continues this way, you're going to see the death of a regional institution. Now, when you speak about reforms, immediately after the tabling of the Auditor General's report, when it became public, the minister announced a panel to look into the operations of the hospital and what exactly could have been done to prevent this scandal from unfolding. And it seems genuine when you look at it, that we're seeing the report coming out and then the minister taking decisive action less than 24 hours later. But they knew about the report from last year. Why wasn't this panel announced last year? Because the panel is only to serve as a distraction for you to wait 4 months, lose interest, and then you would move on to another scandal somewhere else, maybe Cornwall Regional, and then this matter would die a slow and painful death. But the minister did not need to empanel another set of individuals to look into the findings of the Auditor General report. In fact, there was already an investigative report, and this was submitted to the board from November last year. And this investigative report looked into the Auditor General's report, and it found evidence of similar things: a lack of procurement plans, lack of documented controls, repeated internal audit warnings, fragmented governance structures, insufficient staffing. And when it went through department by department to show that the procurement department had staff that were not trained in procurement, there's a lack of digitization, and there was no documentation of internal controls. The finance department was weak. The internal audit department, they repeatedly flagged issues, but no action taken by management or the audit committee. And of course, they had insufficient staffing and insufficient space to perform their duties. You look again at system-wide governance failures. Audit committee not performing its statutory role, CEO and senior directors not enforcing internal audit recommendations, no coordination between internal audit and risk management, and of course, again, insufficient digitization. The office of the CEO was flagged repeatedly for breaches. The CEO, reading from the internal audit, the internal investigative report, the CEO confirms ultimate responsibility for operational decisions, including procurement approvals. We know where the buck stops, and we know who allowed the buck to stop there. So we do have not just the findings, but we have the recommendations. So I don't know what this new panel is going to add when this investigative committee has already said that we should establish board-approved annual strategic procurement plans. We should have digital procurement. We should have immediate training and certification of all procurement staff, increased staffing, and of course, strengthening the audit committees. It's all here. It's all here. There's no reason to have another panel. Is the minister aware of this investigative report? And if he is aware of the investigative report, why was this not made public? And why is he creating another panel instead of insisting on these changes? Again, it speaks to PR over the need and the political will for reforms at the university hospital. And I'm going to close by reading something. In spite of everything that's happened, repeatedly, scandal after scandal that have been brushed away by an untouchable minister with his untouchable servants, we have to take firm action in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence, and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. These are not my words. These are the words of Dr. Andrew Holness when he was leader of the opposition. Thank you.
It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government. We don't.
I leave you with that, ladies and gentlemen. I leave you with that. Have yourselves a good evening. See you guys tonight at around 11:59 p.m., just before midnight. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna be live, guys. Join me. I committed to Thursday, so nightly news recap. We're not done. Like and share this channel. Alright, new people. Try to get some new people in, new audience. Help me to expand. And thank you for your continued support. And for those that donate, please send me a screenshot on WhatsApp. My phone with the cash app, the screen broke. I'm gonna get to either source or buy a screen yet. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it.
It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.